Alright, so for today's episode, I'm going to do something a little different. Now, I know this is part of my series where I find the best overdrive pedals for my different amplifiers here. Now, with the EVH Stealth being so unique because of the Easter eggs in it associated with the green channel and the red channel especially, I'm going to do something a little different today. I'm going to use a couple of different overdrive pedals on it, but I'm also going to show you how these Easter eggs, especially the one that is in the red channel, can really affect the gain structure, a little bit of the tone, and how you're going to use your overdrive pedal with this amplifier. And I really think that because of the way the red channel is set up in this amplifier, you can use any overdrive pedal with it and get whatever you want out of it. And we will get to that later in this episode. But for now, let's just start with a quick dial in on the green channel. I'm just going to show you what it can do, both with the cleans and how aggressive it can get as well. And then we'll try a couple overdrive pedals with it and do a few riffs. Then we'll move on to the blue channel, do a quick little dial in on that and try a couple overdrive pedals with that, and then we'll end up with the red channel and really do some tone sculpting and messing around with overdrive pedals on that one. I'll try to keep this as quick and concise as I can. There are a lot of details I need to cover in this video, and I will be respectful of your time and try to keep this quick without leaving out any important information. So with that, let's get started with the clean channel right now and hear how it sounds with no effects. Now it sounds great, especially when you consider this amplifier is one of the meanest, nastiest amplifiers on the market. It has a very good clean channel. Now let's hear how it sounds with a little bit of chorus and delay. I'm going to be using my Flashback TC Electronic pedal and my Julia chorus pedal. Freaking glorious. I mean, it sounds really freaking good. Now you can see how I have it dialed in right now. If you look at the settings, they're all right here. And what's really nice about this amplifier is you have separate presence and resonance controls for each channel, which is really nice. Now keep in mind, depending on your pickups, your settings are going to vary. I'm using the JP Majesty Monarchy guitar, and it has the Sonic Ecstasy pickups on it. And for the cleans, I'm using the split coil, so you're getting a little bit of that nice single coil stratty kind of sound. And these are really great pickups. There's a lot of output on them, a lot of great fullness and low end to them as well. So like I said, depending on your pickups, the settings on your amp compared to the way I have this set up will vary. Alright, so now that we've heard how the green channel can sound really nice and clean and pristine, let's go ahead and see how nasty we can get it. Basically, all you have to do is just crank the gain all the way up, and I'll adjust the volume a little bit to attenuate for that, and let's see what we have now. Okay, so that's actually not bad. Now, the overdrive pedal is not engaged right now. When it is, you'll see it appear over here on top of the picture of the amplifier on the screen. So, no overdrive pedal, so let's go ahead and play a couple more riffs on this and just kind of get to know how this sounds without an overdrive. I have the gain cranked all the way up on the amplifier right now. Let me bring the lows down a little bit and see what we have. Okay, so not bad. So let's go ahead and engage the Mud Killer. That's one of my favorite pedals. And let's see what it sounds like with that. Alright, so that sounds a lot better, more aggressive, and the feel is better now. The amp isn't so sluggish. I have a little bit of gain in the pedal. It's at 9 o'clock right now. And because this channel isn't super gainy, let's go ahead and turn the gain up to 12 o'clock on the pedal and see if we can get this thing to really wake up even more. Alright, a lot better, much more responsive, and it's a little more saturated. Now the thing is, a lot of people are afraid to use their gain knob on their pedal. They're used to just doing the traditional thing, like gain all the way down, volume all the way up, tone in the middle. The thing is though, is that gain knob is there for a reason. It's for channels like this, or amps that sound like this. You just need a little more kick, a little more saturation, and this pedal will definitely give it that. Actually, most pedals will, as long as it's got a gain knob on it. Go ahead and turn the gain up a little bit and see what you can get out of it. Alright, so now let's switch to another pedal, and every time I switch to a different pedal, pay attention to the picture on top of the amplifier here. You'll see the picture of that pedal that I'm using. I'm going to tell you what it is anyways, but just so you know, let's use the DAE Duality DX. Okay, we're in the green mode right now, and I'm going to go through all three modes, the green, blue, and red modes on this pedal right now. Alright, not bad. Let's try the blue mode. Okay, I prefer the green mode over the blue mode so far. Let's go back to that, and let's turn the gain up halfway and see what we got. Alright, a little bit better. So this pedal also has another mode, which is the red mode. So we'll go ahead and try that. And that will add more gain. Let's see what we got. Alright, so that really woke that channel up big time. So if you have this pedal, it's very versatile. It's got three different modes. You have the green mode, which is more like a take on a TS9, and then you also have the blue mode, which is more of like a modern type circuit, and then the red mode combines the two, and then you get a lot more gain out of the pedal. And it's designed for channels or amps that sound like the green channel in its high gain mode on this amplifier. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the gain up a little bit on this pedal and while staying in the red mode and see what we have. Much better. So I was getting more texture and the amp was even more responsive. So Just a couple of ideas for this channel. Use a couple different pedals if you want to use the green channel in a high gain mode. And I'm pretty sure you're going to get some really good classic metal, classic rock type tones out of it. It's still not as aggressive as the blue or red channel on the amplifier, but if you're going to do some classic Van Halen or anything from that era, it'll really fit the bill perfectly. In fact, let's hear a classic Van Halen riff in these settings right now. Again, we are on the Duality DX in the red mode with the gain at 12 o'clock, okay? And the volume on the overdrive is cranked all the way up. Alright, pretty freaking cool. So play around with the settings on your pedals with this channel, and don't be afraid to crank the gain up on your pedal as high as you need to get the sound and feel that you need out of this particular channel in this mode. Alright, so let's move on to the blue channel now. Alright, so now we're in the blue channel. Let's just see what it sounds like without an overdrive. Alright, so not bad. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and engage the mud killer and see how it sounds with that. I'm going to turn the gain back down on the mud killer and put it around about 8 o'clock and see what we got. Alright, definitely got more aggressive. And with this channel, you can crank the gain up pretty high. It's not as much gain as the red channel, so I'm at like 3 o'clock, just past 3 o'clock on it. I'll put it up a little bit more. And I think everything else is about the way it should be. And also with this amplifier, notice my presence on the red and blue channels are at 3 o'clock. I mean, they don't really do much until you get up to around 2 o'clock on this amplifier. So don't be afraid to push your presence higher on this amp than you would on other amplifiers. 3 o'clock, in my opinion, is the sweet spot. Let's see what we have now. Alright, definitely a lot better, and I love that texture, you know, so I'm going to go ahead and put the pre-gain up just a little bit more. I'm going to put it around 9 o'clock, which is my sweet spot on the mud killer. And let's go ahead and I want a little more bite, a little more texture. I'm going to nudge the tone knob up to 1 o'clock as well. It was at noon. Let's see what we got now. Nice. Lots of great texture. The amp felt a little better to me. I really love that really dry texture that the EVH Stealth has. I mean, it's just dry enough and just wet enough. It's got that really nice balance between saturation and dryness that really gives it that nice aggressive attack. And if you dial in the pedal properly with this amplifier, it really does have that little bit of extra texture that I like. And you might find that you like it too. And don't be afraid, again, to turn your gain up a little bit on your overdrive pedal, because once this amplifier's in a mix, there's other instruments being played at the same time, and then there's the room with the sound kind of being dissipated in the room, and it gets diluted a little bit. So adding that little bit of extra texture isn't going to hurt anything. It's actually going to help your tone stand out more, and it helps even the amp be more articulated, especially when you're doing single note stuff. It just adds that little extra bit of bite to the amplifier, and I love how that sounds and how it feels as well. So let's go ahead and switch to another pedal. Let's use the Friedman Golden Pearl, and I have this set up pretty much traditionally. I have, well, maybe a little different. I have the volume all the way up. I have the drive at 9 o'clock, which is my favorite spot, and then the tone is at 1 o'clock. Let's see what it sounds like with this pedal. Alright, so that sounded good as well. I kind of preferred the Mud Killer over the Golden Pearl so far with this channel, but it still sounded really good. Let's go ahead and try something different this time than I did on my last video. Let's try the Grid Slammer by Mesa. Alright, so I have this set up kind of the same way. Level all the way up, tone in the middle, and the gain is at 8. Let's put it at 9 o'clock and see what we have here. This is kind of a mellower pedal compared to the other ones so far. Let's see how it sounds with the blue channel. Alright, not bad with that one. A hint of a half-cocked wah kind of thing in there. So it's subtle, but I kind of noticed it a little bit. So not my favorite pedal with this channel anyways. So let's go ahead and turn that off. And now let's try the old Ibanez Tube Screamer. Now this is set up, let me put the drive all the way down and tone in the middle, volume all the way up. Let's just try the traditional setup with this one. Alright, not bad. Let's go ahead and turn the gain up to 9 o'clock and see if that helps it out. Yeah, that helped it out. I think it felt better with the gain at 9 o'clock on the Ibanez Tube Screamer. Let me disengage that now. So I just think it helps with the feel, and again, this amplifier, especially on the blue channel, it's a little bit dry. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's very articulate. There's a lot of aggression and gain in this channel, and it's beautiful, but if you want that little bit of extra great feel, just turn your gain up a little bit on the pedal. I mean, it's not adding a ton of gain to the amplifier. That's not what it's about. It's just adding a little bit of extra texture. You know, that's really all it's doing. So I like all of the pedals so far with this amplifier. I like some more than others. I think out of the 4 that I tried on this channel, definitely the Mud Killer would be the way I'd go. I really dig that pedal. It's just awesome. So with that, let's go ahead and switch over to the red channel. And this is where things are going to get really interesting. This is the best channel on this amplifier. And I hope you're still with me, because this is the best part of the video right here. We're going to get into that Easter egg that Eddie was kind enough to hide in this channel for us to enjoy. And we're going to dial it in with a couple different overdrives, and I'm going to show you how this channel can work with any overdrive pedal. Even the mildest of overdrives will work with this channel because of the Easter egg that Eddie put in there for us. So let's go ahead and see what this channel sounds like right now without an overdrive pedal on. Now pay attention to the settings on the amp. I have the gain on the blue channel at 12 o'clock, and I also have the gain on the red channel at just above 12 o'clock. This will matter, so I'll get into that in a minute. Alright, so bear in mind, the overdrive pedal is not engaged yet, and this channel has a lot of texture, and there's a ton of gain in this channel. Alright, so now let's crank the gain up a little bit more on the red channel. Let's go to 3 o'clock and see what it sounds like. Alright, a little bit better. So now this is where the fun comes in. Let's go ahead and crank the gain on the blue channel all the way up while we're in the red channel and see how it changes the whole gain structure of the red channel. Definitely got tighter and more responsive, and it actually added some aggression and texture to the overall tone. So let's go ahead and let's put in a little more highs. I want a little more texture. Let's see what we can get here. Even better. Okay, so let's say you have the amp set up this way. You know, I mean, you were on the blue channel and then you switch over to the red channel and you got your overdrive on. Let's see what would happen if we did that. So I'm going to go ahead and engage the Mud Killer right now, and see how the amp sounds with these settings on both the blue and the red channel. All right, it's too much. It's too aggressive. It's all over the place. It's kind of sloppy sounding now. But it's not the overdrive pedal's fault. It's basically the way this amp is designed. You have to be careful when you boost the red channel. You got to make sure you're mindful of where the gain is on the blue channel. So let's go ahead and adjust the gain on the blue channel. Let's bring it down to, you know, the middle here and see how it affects everything. All right, cleaned it up quite a bit. Now it's not so overly saturated, overly aggressive, and kind of sharp, you know. So we could bring the highs down a little bit. And let's go ahead and turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel. And remember, we're still in the red channel, but it's affecting the gain structure in the red channel greatly. So let's see what we got now. Alright, so it rounded it out even more, so let's find a happy medium. Let's put the gain at like just over 9 o'clock. Very nice. Lots of great texture. Now I'm getting some feedback because I'm literally, the cab's right here. So, but yeah, it really sounds good and feels great there. It's very, very aggressive and I love it. So again, while you're in the red channel and you're boosting it, adjust the gain on the blue channel. If you turn the gain on the blue channel all the way down, it's really going to round the amp out. You're going to have a more rounder, smoother top end, and you'll feel it too. It'll feel a little more sluggish and a little less responsive, but that's okay because you can make adjustments on your pedal or on the amplifier to attenuate for that. So what I do is I try to keep my pedal the way I like it with this amplifier anyways, and adjust the gain on the blue channel while I'm in the red channel and get that little extra bite or aggression or whatever it is that that knob does. It just really adds a lot of character to the gain structure in the red channel, and you can get anything you want out of it, you know. So now Eddie never used an overdrive. That was his overdrive. He just cranked the gain all the way up on the blue channel while he was playing the red channel, and it tightened it up and made it as aggressive as he wanted it, and it actually sounds and feels great for his style of playing. But if you're a metal player like me, like a modern metal player, you're going to want something that might be a little bit more aggressive because, you know, Van Halen wasn't modern metal. I mean, it's classic rock, you know, or maybe classic borderline metal at best. And Eddie always had really good tone, so there you go. So anyways, I want a little bit more, so this kind of works for me, you know. So let's go ahead, while we're dialed in this way, I'm going to switch to, let's switch to the Friedman Golden Pearl, and let's see if I like that better on the red channel with the settings the way they are. Freaking love it. And the reason why is because I can dial in the red channel any way I want by utilizing the gain on the blue channel. I know I keep harping on that, but I want to make my point very clear. So if you have a pedal that's kind of mellow, you know, let's go to the grid slammer. That's more of a mellow overdrive. It's a little on the older, kind of old school side of things. And let's see if I like it with the red channel the way it is. Oh yeah, that's freaking nice. Now because the pedal is a little on the lesser aggressive side, maybe I want to add a little more gain. So again, if you have a pedal that's, you know, it's just not working for you, you know, and it's just not giving you enough, and the knobs are cranked as far as they can go as far as the, you know, the volume on the pedal goes. Like I have the level all the way up on this pedal. It's not going to give me any more. And I don't want to add any more gain because this amp's pretty saturated, especially in this channel. Turn the gain up a little bit on the blue channel, and it's going to help you. It's going to give you that little more aggression and help the pedal out, as you'll hear now. Oh yeah, that sounds amazing, and the feel was great too. I never use the grid slammer ever because it's always too wimpy for me, but on the red channel, because of the Easter egg that's in there, this pedal totally works with this amplifier because, again, you can just shape and sculpt the gain structure on this amplifier with that Easter egg, and it really does make a huge difference. So don't go running out to the store and buying a new overdrive pedal if you have this amplifier. Just dial in the amplifier properly for whatever pedal that you have, and you're going to get all the gain and texture and, you know, aggression and a good feel on the amplifier that you want. I mean, it's really going to work for you. You know what? Let's go with the Ibanez Tube Screamer while we're at it. Let's just see how that works. I'm going to set this up totally traditional. Let's turn the gain all the way down on the pedal and see what that's like. That works too. I mean, you can even turn the gain all the way down on your pedal. Again, I didn't have much in there to begin with, but because of this channel, the way it's set up and everything, you can just go traditional on this and adjust here, and you get all the texture and aggression that you could ever want. You know, now let's just go nuts. Let's turn the gain all the way up on the blue channel while we're in the red channel and see how that sounds. Yeah, that's a little much. So you probably want to, keep it around there, whatever. I mean, just make adjustments based on what works best for you. Again, pickups are going to change things a lot. So if you have lower output pickups, that channel is going to be your favorite channel. It really is, because you can really make a lot of adjustments to attenuate for lower output pickups or for overdrive pedals that don't really have as much output as you'd like. Make these adjustments and really fine tune this amplifier, and you're going to find that any overdrive pedal, especially on the red channel, will work perfectly. Well, I hope you got a lot out of this episode. I enjoyed making it for you, and I actually learned a lot too. I used some pedals I never use, and I found out that any one of them could work for me, especially on the red channel. And dig into the Easter eggs on this amplifier. There's so many great things that this amplifier will do, and just spend a little bit of time. Again, I just want to make sure I'm making my point here. While you're on the red channel, adjust the gain on the blue channel and really fine tune and sculpt your tone and the gain structure, and it really does matter. I mean, you can go all the way down to like a rounder sound if you turn the gain all the way down on the blue channel, or if you want, you can go all the way up on the blue channel and skip the overdrive depending on what works best for you and the style of music that you play. That's what Eddie did. So if you play a lot of the same kind of stuff that Eddie did, then try those settings before you even engage an overdrive pedal and see if those work for you. But just remember, when you do engage the overdrive pedal while you're on the red channel, be mindful of where the gain's at on the blue channel, because it has a huge effect over how things are going to sound and feel. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And to all my subscribers and Patreon supporters, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, please do, and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with new episodes. And if you like the work that I do here and you want to support me, there's a link below to my Patreon. Any amount is appreciated, and just go ahead and donate what you can. I really appreciate that very much. That's what keeps the lights on here and keeps me motivated to do more videos for you guys. Well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.